Today we're heading to the hyphenated neighbourhood of Broadway-Assiniboine, downtown. So downtown itself is split into 10 distinct neighbourhoods, and the very centre of Winnipeg is considered the intersection of Portage Avenue and Main Street. Portage and Main. So this is the first of our downtown neighbourhoods. We'll go and see what it looks like. I must interject here. When I started this Winnipeg A to Z series, I polled family members, Winnipeg born and raised, for ideas on which parts of Winnipeg I should perhaps be cautious of or avoid. Here's what they had to say. My father-in-law says anywhere around downtown. My sister-in-law says everywhere downtown. Those are all downtown. Do nice areas first. And my wife says that's downtown. But the saving grace is that south of Portage is always preferable to north of Portage. I'm actually going to take the bus this morning, and that is for two reasons. One is we had 20 centimetres of snow yesterday, and my poor little car won't cut through this thick stuff, and it's downtown. I don't want to have to park my car in the cheapest, filthiest parking lot for $4 an hour when the bus driver can drive through all this snow and can drop me off right where I need to be. So we got the bus downtown, we made it. I am now in the neighbourhood of Broadway-Assiniboine, but I think the first order of business is to find some breakfast. I haven't had anything today. Let's see if there's a cafe or something around here. It's downtown, there's got to be. Gary Place? How posh is that? That was quite an unusual breakfast. The building was really posh, but this little diner was super seedy, and that, the coffee pot I don't think had been washed in about, well, ever. But there you go, coffee and a muffin. I didn't eat the muffin either because it looked rank, but that was the cheapest thing on the menu. Coffee and a muffin, $5. What have we here? The Naval Museum of Manitoba. Is this a thing? Oh, it's a bit unfortunate. It doesn't appear to be open, or it doesn't appear to be an actual museum for the public, so I shan't be going there. Anyway, what's really interesting about this little bit of the neighbourhood is that we are on Assiniboine Avenue, and that is actually the street on which I lived when I first got an apartment when I moved to Winnipeg. So let's go and see my first apartment. To be honest, I don't recognise or remember much, but here is my first apartment. Eden Towers. And if we go around the back here, my apartment was the very top one in the corner. Cool. When I left Germany, a truck delivered all my stuff to the UK, to my parents' house, where I had my friends and family members come and ransack whatever they wanted. I think all I kept was my stereo and a IKEA shelf. The rest of it was divvied up, so I didn't have to bring much. I ended up a tiny little pile of stuff, and that all came here. So, some 20 odd years ago, a small truck parked where that yellow one is now and delivered all my stuff. This used to be a hipster cafe, which looks long derelict. I forget what the cafe was called, but I've been there a couple of times. Oh, it's not a cafe now. Walking along the Assiniboine River again now. It's got a nice blanket of snow on it. I would not at this time of year step anywhere near that. I've done my walking on ice stuff for this year. Hopefully, please, by next week be all melted and let's start seeing some green. Coming up on Midtown Bridge here, and it's got some coloured lines painted on it, and that is how high the river has got in the past. So that red line up there is, I don't know, flood capacity. We are now coming up on Upper Fort Garry Heritage Provincial Park. This steel wall, oh, let me climb up here, is the west wall of what used to be Fort Garry. An instrumental piece of Canadian history, apparently. This wall is the largest piece of street art in Canada, I believe. I can't remember what it is. 150 feet long or something like that. Apparently it tells a story. It's got LED lights in it that light up periodically. But it tells the story of how a group of influential leaders back in goodness knows when. Oh, there you go, it's doing something now. The influential leaders signed an agreement that made Canada what it is today. They said everything from the west of Manitoba to the Pacific and everything north to the Arctic Circle should be a confederate, should be joined together as one country, all represented by this wall that lights up and plays music. And here is the north gate of the fort, preserved, and is now a landmark or listed building, never to be destroyed or developed. Coming up on the Hotel Fort Garry.
Oh no, that's just all I saw.
So I'm working with Christina on one side of it, I'm working with the front desk to say, okay, like, I want to make sure that this makes sense, so let's put this up and then
Well, that was very nice. Okay, living large in the Fort Garry Hotel. And another reason why I like the Fort Garry Hotel is that it's haunted. Room 202 apparently has a ghost in it. So one of these days I'm going to have to stay in that particular room. See if it's truly haunted. Okay, I sobered up a little bit there with my peppermint mocha from The Fix. So, Broadway on my left, Assiniboine River on my right, Broadway-Assiniboine. It was nice to come visit my old neighbourhood.